Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome along to our Monday night Speedway broadcast. Hope you're all continuing to keep safe and well, and hope you're enjoying your bank holiday Monday as well. Obviously, we're all in the same boat. We would love to be trackside watching a live Speedway meeting right now, but seeing as we can't, we have got the very best next thing coming up for you with our Monday night Speedway broadcast, and we have got another thrilling contest coming up for you in just a few moments' time. Don't forget the official British Speedway website, which is speedwaygb.co.uk. Head there daily for all the latest news and views, and on there we've also got a list of what clubs are showing old meetings on their own websites and social media channels. Talking of social media, follow us on Twitter at SpeedwayGB. You can search SpeedwayGB on Facebook, so please give our page a like on there. Follow us on Instagram at Official British Speedway, and our YouTube channel, Speedway Great Britain. Plenty of old race clips and interview clips on there for you. Back to tonight though, and tonight we have got the second leg of the 2019 Championship Knockout Cup quarter-final between Leicester and Eastbourne. Now, as this is the second leg, throughout last week we were strongly advising you to watch the first leg, which was shown on Eastbourne's website 48 hours ago. And hopefully a very good number of you who are watching live right now were able to tune into that first leg. If not, then here is a quick summary of what happened down at Arlington. Well, it was always going to be a big ask for a patched up Leicester side who were without 3 of their riders, and it didn't take the hosts long to get their noses in front when Kyle Newman came through to join teammate Lewis Kerr for a 5-1 in Heat 3. The Eagles took further control with a run of 3-4-2s on the spin, and when reserve Georgie Wood took the checkered flag in Heat 8, they opened up a 10-point lead. If that wasn't enough for Leicester's understrength side, their opponents soon reeled off a straight hat-trick of 5-1 maximums, the last of which came when Georgie Wood and Kyle Newman easily saw off the visitors' National League guest duo of Adam Extons and Ryan Terry-Daly to well and truly stamp their authority on the tie. Leicester's cause wasn't helped with spills for both Scott Nicholls and Ryan Douglas when in winning points positions, and Eastbourne went on to seal a 57-33 first leg success at Arlington. So the Eagles were considered huge favourites to progress through to the semi-finals, but in sport and in Speedway in particular, you can never take anything for granted, especially when you consider the Leicester Lions were in red-hot form at the Paul Chapman and Sons Arena, and Eastbourne had one of the worst away records in the league at this point as well. So maybe Mission Impossible wasn't quite so impossible. We're about to find out as we head to the Paul Chapman and Sons Arena for the second leg of the Knockout Cup quarter-final between the Leicester Lions and the Eastbourne Eagles. And let's run you through the two lineups now. Scott Nicholls was again at number 1 for Leicester, with the Lions this time using rider replacement for Josh Bates at number 2. Ellis Perks moved to number 3, joining Ryan Douglas at number 4. Triple British champion Chris Harris was called in to guest for broken ankle victim Richie Worrell, while Joe Lawler was drafted in at number 6 with influential reserve Connor Mountain at number 7. For Eastbourne, a change of month and therefore averages saw Edward Kennett take over the number 1 race jacket alongside Ben Morley at number 2. Former Leicester man Kyle Newman went at 3 with Lewis Kerr at 4. Richard Lawson was now at 5 with the Eagles' 2 reserves Alfie Botel at 6 and Georgie Wood at number 7. So would the Eagles fly into the semi-finals, or would it be the Lions who came roaring back to overturn that 24-point deficit? We are about to find out as we head to Beaumont Park for the second leg. Sit back and enjoy, and let's go racing.
Good evening and welcome to Clean Cut Sports coverage of tonight's Knockout Cup quarter-final second leg between the JCB Watling Lions and the Eastbourne Eagles. And the Lions have got a huge deficit to overturn after last Sunday, where they went down by 57 points to 33 down at Arlington with a very patched up team. But they're back tonight and they'll be looking to at least win the meeting on home soil and then see if they can get anywhere near that 24-point deficit. So heat number 1 then, across the line, gate 1 in yellow for the Eagles is Ben Morley. Gate 2 in blue, the rider replacement ride for the Lions, Connor Mountain. Gate 3 in white is Ed Kennett, and Captain Scott Nicholls in gate 4 on the outside. Unusual Friday night speedway then here in Leicester, but the sun's shining. Quite a healthy crowd for Friday evening, and the Lions fans will be hoping that the team can continue their superb home form around the Leicester circuit this season. So we wait for the referee to bring us into line for heat number 1. Morley, Mountain, Kennett and Nichols. 15 heats ahead of us. Can the Lions bring a surprise, or will the Eagles make it to the semi-finals? Let's find out. Takes rise, away they go. Good start on the inside by Mountain, but here's Ed Kennett in white. Scott Nichols round the outside though to lead in heat 1, but Kennett moves in wide. Good first corner by Ed Kennett there. He leads into turn 3. Nichols second. Connor Mountain in third. Morley at the back. So to complete lap number 1 then. And Ed Kennett out in front in the fresh air. But Nichols diving inside in the red helmet colour. And Ed Kennett has to get off the gas there as the Leicester skipper dives through, and it puts the line into a 4-2 heat advantage. Coming down into the third corner for the second time then. Nichols leads from Kennett. Connor Mountain still comfortable in third. So a 4-2 on the card with half the race gone in heat number 1. The track is going to be dusty tonight due to the weather this week. Lots of water down on it today. It's keeping going all right for this first race as Nichols comes around to complete lap number 3. The last lap flag out then for the skipper, who's pulling clear now ahead of Kennett in second. A good ride for Connor Mountain in third as Ed Kennett gets that wrong on the first corner. But it's going to be a good advantage here for the Lions in heat number 1 thanks to Scott Nichols and Connor Mountain. Nichols takes a checkered flag. It's going to be a 4-2 for the Lions. The red rider, Scott Nichols, wins heat 1. Ed Kennett second in white. Connor Mountain in third. Ben Morley at the back. And it was all about Ed Kennett early on. He forced Scott Nichols wide on the first and second corner on lap number 1. And as they approached the end of lap 1, Nichols did a cut back up the inside and charged underneath Ed Kennett into the first and second corner on the second lap. And the skipper pulled clear to win heat number 1. So after a good first race then for the skipper, it's the Leicester Watling JCB Lions 4, the Eastbourne Eagles 2.
Skipper Scott Nichols. Scotland time 62.40, 62.40. Second in white for the Eagles was Edward Kennett. Eastbourne Eagles, it's Alfie Botel.
Heat number 2 then, and across the line in the red helmet colour for the Lions, the guest tonight, Joe Lawler. Gate 2 in white for the Eagles is Alfie Botel. Gate 3 in blue. Fresh from that third place in heat 1 is Connor Mountain on the outside in yellow, the star of the show for the Eagles last Sunday. 15 points down at Arlington for George Wood. So a heat advantage in heat number 1. It'll be a little bit more difficult here in heat number 2 with Joe Lawler taking the guest ride after Jack Thomas has finished for the season. So team boss Stuart Dixon booking in certain guests, and Joe Lawler's turn this evening to try and get in amongst the points. But Connor Mountain will be buoyed by that ride in heat number 1, and he probably goes into this one as the favourite to try and take the checkered flag in heat 2 for the Lions. So Lawler, Botel, Mountain and Wood, 4 points to 2 the score after heat number 1. Interesting to see how the reserves get on here in heat number 2. Takes rise, away they go. Good start by Mountain again, and he leads into the corner. Second on the inside is Botel. Botel moves right the way across, and here comes George Wood around the outside, but the red lights are on. Red lights are on. Referee not happy with the start there. It was turning into a good first corner with both Eagles riders out on the outside, and Connor Mountain had made a cutback, but the referee deciding that he'd seen enough there. Unsatisfactory start, and it will be all four back and a warning for George Wood on the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
Yellow is warned. So we're going to try again, heat number 2, sponsor JB Tools.
So the rerun then of heat number 2, all four riders back. Georgie Wood getting the warning from the referee, and Connor Mountain will be hoping to this time get across Alfie Botel. As the first time round it was getting quite close around that first and second turn. No surprise that Joe Lawler was a bit of the slowest one out of the tapes. He'll be looking for a better start here out of gate number 1, and Connor Mountain has been quite a key figure for the Lions in their recent run of good form, with last week getting the pay 10 score in the victory over Redcar in that curtailed meeting, and he'll be in for hopefully similar scoreline this evening. At the start, Marshall asked Georgie Wood to straighten up, and already having a warning, Georgie Wood's going to be on thin ice here unless he plays ball, which he does now. So Lawler, Botel, Mountain and Wood Reaver and then off heat number 2. Takes rise, away they go. Another good start from Alfie Botel. Here comes Connor Mountain in blue again, drawing the cutback as Botel gets the corner wrong. And Mountain this time leads from Georgie Wood in second, Botel in third, Lawler at the back in red. But an intelligent cutback again from Connor Mountain, and he leads at the end of lap number 1. Georgie Wood putting the pressure on second in the yellow helmet. Alfie Botel in third as George Wood tries the inside run on Connor Mountain. Mountain's got it covered. And fair play to Joe Lawler, he's not out of this for this third position. So coming to the end of lap number 2 then, it's 2 races in 1 with Mountain and Wood out front. Botel goes wide again as Lawler sneaks up the inside, but Connor Mountain's going to have to keep his wits about him here. Alfie Botel again goes wide, and Joe Lawler again trying up the inside. Great effort here from Joe Lawler as he dives inside. Will he hold it in there? Botel goes wide as they come to complete the end of lap 3. Botel's gone down at the back, and Joe Lawler there has earned himself a third place. Connor Mountain though has got Georgie Wood round the outside now. Good action here in heat number 2. Connor Mountain leading from Georgie Wood. Last corner, Wood's going to give it another go on the outside. It's going to be close on the run to the line, but Connor Mountain holds on for a good win in heat number 2. Second place in yellow for Georgie Wood. And fair play to Joe Lawler there for pressurising Alfie Botel into the mistake that made him slide off. Good to see Alfie make his way back to the pits, but that's 2 4-2s in a row for the Watling JCB Lions, and the reserves have done their job there. Connor Mountain made a good start, let Alfie Botel run wide on the first corner, cut him back, but then for the rest 3.5 laps he had Georgie Wood on his exhaust pipe, but he rode an intelligent race to make it 4 points for him on the evening already. 4 points from 2 rides for Connor Mountain, and fair play to Joe Lawler for that move inside Alfie Botel. It means after heat number 2 it's the Lions 8, the Eastbourne Eagles 4.
4-1, 6-2, 4-1. Second yellow for the Eagles was Georgie Wood, and battling for a third in red, Joe Lawler. 4 to Lions and 2 to the Eagles. 2 races gone for Watling JCBS Lions 8, Eastbourne Eagles 4. Eastbourne in yellow by Lewis Kerr.
Heat number 3 then on the inside for the Eagles is Carl Newman. Gate number 2 in blue for the Lions is Ryan Douglas. Gate 3 in the yellow helmet colour, Lewis Kerr. And on the outside in red, Ellis Perk. So 2 good races for the Lions so far, 2 heat advantages. But again, another tough looking heat number 3 with former Lion Carl Newman in the white helmet colour, and a man that you can never discount in the yellow helmet colour, Lewis Kerr. But Ryan Douglas has been in good form for the Lions this season, and as recently as away at Redcar and Berwick the other week, a couple of good double figure point scores for the Australian, and he was a good value last week as well in the victory over Redcar here. Ellis Perks has been firing in the points as well, but he moves up to the number 3 jacket, which makes things a little bit tougher. Let's see how they get on then. Heat number 3, Newman, Douglas, Kerr and Perks takes rise. Good start by Douglas in gate 2. He leads. Here comes Lewis Kerr in yellow. Ellis Perks outside in red, trying the outside run. Here comes Newman up the inside as Kerr looks at the inside there, and Newman dives inside Perks. Ellis Perks loads the speed into third corner. Can he hold it? It's Douglas who leads. Kerr second. Ellis Perks, fair play to him, into third. Newman at the back. I don't think this race is over though as Douglas goes wide. Kerr picks up mid-corner, as does Newman, and Ellis Perks now putting pressure on to Lewis Kerr's back wheel. So Douglas leads, Kerr second. Newman's had enough at the back, he's packed up. So 2 laps gone then. Douglas, Kerr. Can Ellis Perks get round Lewis Kerr for this vital second place? It looks like there's some dirt there if he can get into the right position, but Kerr's riding a good line to block him. 1 lap to go for Ryan Douglas, so he's out in front in the blue helmet colour. Lewis Kerr second. Ellis Perks now just drifting a bit further back, but a small mistake here from Douglas sends him wide, and Lewis Kerr here is going to say thank you very much and dive up the inside, and the Eagles have got a 3-3 out of this because the mistake came from Douglas, and Lewis Kerr was close enough to say thank you very much. Good ride there from the young Englishman in the yellow helmet colour. Second place, Ryan Douglas just got it wrong on the first corner last time round, and Ellis Perks, who did well to see off Carl Newman for the third place, but on an evening when you've got to claw back 24 points, you can ill afford little mistakes like that, and Lewis Kerr will be delighted that Ryan Douglas made a mistake on the start of lap number 4, and it means a 3-all sees that the Lions still remain in front by 4 points. It's the Lions 11, the Eagles 7.
6-2-9-0. Second blue for the Lions was Ryan Douglas, and for the red team one, Ellis Perks. Connor Mountain.
Heat 4 then on the inside in the yellow and black helmet colour for the Eagles is Georgie Wood. Connor Mountain is third ride of the night already, blue in gate number 2. First time out on track in white for Richard Lawson for the Eagles. And on the outside also first time out on track tonight for the guest for the Lions, Chris Bomber Harris. And Bomber has already guested for the Lions a few weeks back with pay 12 in the victory against Berwick and they'll be hoping that Chris can fill his boots again tonight with another double figure score. So it's 11 to the Lions, 7 to the Eagles. Heat number 4. Before no doubt the first track grade. We'll see what this brings us. Takes rise, away they go. Good start by Harris in 4, and Lawson on the inside of him in white, but here comes Harris with a trademark outside run, but Lawson's just pushing him wide. A great move there from Harris, who dives into the lead on turn number 3. Chris Harris leads, Lawson second, third in blue is Connor Mountain, Georgie Wood at the back, but a great first lap there for Chris Harris, riding for the Somerset Rebels this season, doing well for them, and also the Ipswich Witches, and he's guesting in style tonight for the Lions. 2 laps gone then, Bomber out in front, second place Lawson, Mountain third. It's going to be the third 4-2 of the evening as we stand, but again first corner proving a bit troublesome as Chris has lost his steel shoe there on the back straight, so 1.5 laps to go, and it looks like Bomber's got a lap to go with no steel shoe. So can he survive? He's got his leg trail in action in the red helmet colour. Can Richard Lawson catch him? Mountain in third, and Harris looks behind him as Georgie Wood gets it all wrong at the back. But not only does the man win styles and win races in great style, but he can win without a steel shoe. What a rider, Chris Bomber Harris. Second place in white for Richard Lawson, and third in blue Connor Mountain. And it was all done there on the first corner for Chris Harris. He was pushed wide by Richard Lawson, but he kept his wheels in line to speed clear down the back straight. On lap number 3 though, he lost his steel shoe and he had to return to a bit of grass track style for the last lap and a half, but he did it with ease, and it means the Lions have moved 6 points ahead after the first 4. It's 15 to the Lions, 9 to the Eagles, and a standing ovation for Chris Bomber Harris.
Pushing on the heat, number 4 spot for Leicester Sports Club, and a fine victory there for my guest in red. Losing still short of the back straight there of lap number 2, but holding on to take 3 points, it's Chris Harris. His winning time is 61, followed by Ben Morley. For the Watling JCB, that's right in red, it's Ellis Perks.
Heat number 5 then on the inside in red for the Lions is Ellis Perks. Gate 2 yellow and black for the Eagles, Ben Morley. Ryan Douglas at gate 3 in blue, and on the outside Edward Kennett in white for the Eagles. And certainly Ed Kennett returning to the Eagles this season. A Kennett family steeped in tradition down at Arlington, and Ed has been leading the team from the front with some super performances down at the Arlington track, where he knows that place like the back of his hand. And he'll be hoping for close to double figures this evening, but he'll need to be a bit better than he was in Heat 1 when Scott Nichols managed to move him wide to take the checkered flag. So the Eagles here this evening. The Lions next home meeting next Sunday, where the Berwick Bandits are here, but the Lions have got to go to Berwick first on the Saturday night, so home and away against the Bandits, but they'll be looking for more league points. But tonight still about the cup. Can the Lions get another heat advantage here? Perks, Morley, Douglas and Kennett. 15-9 the Lions lead. Takes rise on heat 5, good start by Douglas, gate 3, and he'll move Kennett out wide there, and Perks is with him, and the Lions here on a 5-1. It's Douglas around the outside, Ellis Perks second in red, Kennett though in white trying the outside run, but the Lions hold an early 5-1 then. Ryan Douglas, Ellis Perks, here comes Kennett back up the inside and moves through on Ellis Perks really strongly there. So it's Douglas out in front then, second place Ed Kennett, Ellis Perks third. And Ryan Douglas has been in this position once already this evening, but can he stay in front this time round? 2 laps then complete. The man in blue, Ryan Douglas leads. Ed Kennett second, Ellis Perks third. Ben Morley tailed off. Kennett with a big dive up the inside to put pressure on the Australian, but Douglas again pulls a few lengths clear into turn number 3. So just over 1 lap to go then for the Lions to record what would be the 4th 4-2 of the evening in the first 5 races. Kennett will give it one last go. It's Douglas in blue. Kennett though diving really hard inside, but Ryan Douglas rode a super corner there, and fair play to Ed Kennett, he's putting the pressure on, but even bigger gratitude here to Ryan Douglas, who wins heat 5 with a super ride. Fair play to Ed Kennett for battling his way through into second in the white helmet colour. Ellis Perks picking up another good 3rd place, and team boss Stuart Dixon delighted there with Ryan Douglas, who was under more pressure in that race than he was in heat number 3, but this time avoided the little bump going into turn number 1, and his victory means that the Lions have now moved 8 points clear after heat number 5, and if they can replicate that over the next 10 races, this will be all square. But there's a long way to go, but fair play to Ryan Douglas and Alex Perse. A 4-2 in heat 5 means it's now the Lions 19, the Eagles 11.
His winning time 61.94. 6.191. On aggregate, heat number 6 comes to take Central Garden.
Heat 6 then on the inside for the Eagles, Richard Lawson, gate 2 in red. For the Lions, Scott Nichols, Alfie Botel, yellow, gate 3. And the rider replacement ride in gate 4 for the Lions is Ryan Douglas, and team manager Stuart Dixon trying to strike again while the iron's hot with Douglas. Good win in heat 5. Can he replicate that here in heat 6? He certainly should get a good run to the first corner because he should outgate Alfie Botel. It's whether Scott Nichols can take care of Richard Lawson on the inside. So 19-11 the Lions lead. Can they extend it even more here in heat number 6? Takes rise away they go. Good start by Lawson, gate 1, and he leads. Here comes Botel though. Botel around the outside, but Scott Nichols said thank you very much and dives up the inside. But the surprise here is that Ryan Douglas completely missed the start and is behind Alfie Botel at the back. So Nichols leads, Lawson second, third is Botel. It's probably key now that Ryan Douglas gets past the young reserve for the Eagles. If he bides his time, he might be able to line him up here. But Nichols is clear and gone. Second place is Lawson. Botel in third, but Douglas putting the pressure up the inside. And then complete lap number 2. Douglas getting closer. Can he bore a hole at the inside? Here he comes. And Botel moves out the way. Good move there by Ryan Douglas. And the Lions again in a 4-2 position. So Nichols just over 1 lap to go then for the skipper. He leads. Richard Lawson second. Third now Ryan Douglas. Botel at the back. And the Lions here are going to keep chipping away at this lead. They're now going to go 10 clear after heat number 6. And maybe the 24-point deficit is on. Scott Nichols, 2 rides, 2 wins. He wins heat number 6. Second place, Richard Lawson. Ryan Douglas did well to get himself into third, but also credit to Alfie Botel there for holding him up for a good couple of laps. But the Leicester fans are beginning to believe here, 24 points behind going into this quarter-final second leg. And with 6 heats gone, they're already back 10 points in front, so just 14 the deficit now as the Lions begin to eat into this lead for the Eagles, and the skipper leading from the front. Heat number 6 a win, 4-2 to the Lions, 23 points to 13.
And coming through for third in blue, Ryan Douglas. 4 to the Lions and 2 to the Eagles. 6 races gone. In the white helmet colour for the Eastbourne Eagles, it's Kyle Newman.
Heat 7 then on the inside in the red helmet colour. Chris Bomber Harris, the guest for the Lions this evening. Gate 2 in white for the Eagles, Kyle Newman. Joe Lawler, blue, gate 3 for the Lions. And on the outside in yellow, Lewis Kerr. So 2 race winners in this one from their opening rides. Chris Harris on the inside and Lewis Kerr, gate number 4. And you'd have thought those 2 will be at the front of proceedings here in Heat 7. But Carl Newman can ride a lot better than he did in his first race. And he's in gate 2. And Joe Lawler, to be fair, in this one, up against it. But if he keeps going, there could be an engine failure or a fall. And he might pick up the pieces in a falsely run race. So Bomber Harris, gate 1. Newman, gate 2. Lawler, gate 3. Kerr, gate 4. 23-13, the Lions lead. And Lions will be hoping here that Chris Harris can do the business and at least share the spoils. Wait for the start marshal to get into line. Green lights on, takes rise, away they go. Good start by Harris, gate 1. Kerr's made a good one as well. But Chris Harris making the first bend his own here. He leads. Kerr diving back up the inside in yellow, but Chris Harris leads into turn number 3. Kerr in second, Newman third, and Lawler at the back. But a determined ride there from Chris Harris off the inside. He leads lap number 1. Second place, Lewis Kerr, who will no doubt try and put pressure on. But normally when Bomber hits the front, not many people get near him. So coming around the third or fourth bend for the second time then, the man in red, the guest for the Lions this evening, replacing the injured Richie Worrell, is Chris Bomber Harris. He leads, he's streaking clear here from Lewis Kerr in second. Third, Carl Newman. A fair play to Joe Lawler, you know, he's not too far away from Carl Newman, so good experience for Lawler this evening. But 1 lap to go as Chris looks down again. Has he got steel shoe problems again? He needs some super glue maybe. Harris leads then, he has gone again. The steel shoe for the second time has come off, and we'll have to get Chris some super glue for his third race this evening. It's Harris who's going to win again with that steel shoe. Second place in yellow for Lewis Kerr, third Carl Newman. And probably the best that the Lions could hope for there was a 3-all. And the best that Chris can hope for at Christmas is some super glue. We'll have to have a word and get him some here. But super start off gate 1 for Bomber, and he made the first corner his own. Lewis Kerr had a little sniff up the inside on the back straight first time round, but Chris had his wheels in line and pulled clear for a great ride and his second win of the evening. So after heat number 7 and the first winner off gate number 1 all evening, the man in red again taking the plaudits, Chris Bomber Harris, The Lions lead 26-16.
One for LHH, so that's the Hose and Hydraulics, and a win for the one in red, Chris Harris. His winning time 62.28, 62.28. Second in yellow will be with Lewis Kerr.
So after a quite a lengthy delay to let the sun go down over the third turn, we carry on with heat number 8. And it's he's on the inside in blue for the Lions, Connor Mountain. Gate 2 yellow for the Eagles, Georgie Wood. The ride replacement ride in red for the Lions, Ellis Perks. And Ben Morley in white on the outside. So 26-16 after heat number 7, 10 points in front, 14 still behind an aggregate. But another 4-2 or 5-1 here and things will start to get quite interesting. So heat number 8. Tapes rides, away they go. Good start on the inside by Connor Mountain, and Ellis Perks is with him. And the Lions pair have got out. It's Perks on the outside, Mountain blue, but here comes Ben Morley with his best ride of the evening so far. Mountain in third, Georgie Wood trying to move up the inside. Very tight there on the third corner. It's Perks at lead. Second place is Ben Morley. Here comes Connor Mountain in third with Georgie Wood up the inside. Connor Mountain's going to have to be careful here that Georgie Wood doesn't sneak up the inside while he's trying to go around the outside of Ben Morley. So Ellis Perks in front. Here comes Connor Mountain, super ride in the blue helmet colour from the Lions Reserve. Can he make it stick on the outside here? Yes, he can. Great ride from the Lions Reserve. And all of a sudden the Lions fans are realising that this could happen now. 1 lap to go then. Ellis Perks, Mountain in second. Georgie Wood now into third. And Ben Morley's gone to the back. Can Connor Mountain hang on as Georgie Wood goes wide? He's messed that up. The Lions are going to get their first 5-1 of the evening. And this deficit is down to 10 points. Ellis Perks, Connor Mountain, hats off for the first 5-1 of the evening. Great ride by the man in red. But great ride by the man in blue, Connor Mountain, who chased Ben Morley and put him under pressure on lap number 2 and then went round the outside at the end of lap 2. And the first 5-1 of the evening means that the Leicester Lions have broke the 30-point mark already. It's 31 points to 17. And now the Eagles have got a fight on their hands to remain in this knockout cup. As Connor Mountain takes the plaudits from the crowd. Great win for Ellis Perks, but Connor Mountain 7 paid 8 so far for him. Means that the Lions are now 14 in front after heat number 8.
5-1 for your Watling JTB left Lions. A win for the one in red, Ellis Perks. That is a good shot, Wilson. Finishing in part in yellow by Alfie Botel.
Heat number 9 then on the inside in blue for the Lions is Ryan Douglas. Gate 2 in white for the Eagles, Richard Lawson. Ellis Perks, gate 3 in red. Fresh from that victory in heat number 8. On the outside in yellow for the Eagles, Alfie Botel. So Richard Lawson, who's been good value around here over the last few years, winning individual meetings at the Leicester track. He really needs to come with a race win here for the Eagles because they're in danger of being swamped here. 14 points down after heat 8. Only 10 in front now, and they'd have thought coming here that they could have defended a 24-point lead. But at the minute, the Lions have got the bit between their teeth. And if Ryan Douglas or Ellis Perks can pop out the gate, there could be another heat advantage on the way for the Lions. So Douglas, Lawson, Perks and Botel, heat number 9. Start Marshall's happy. Takes rides, away they go. It's a good start by Douglas, gate 1, and he leads into the corner. And Lawson here has made room there for Botel. Perks on the inside, but Lawson back round. So it's Douglas that leads, Lawson second, Perks third. And again, the Lions in a heat advantage position. Good start from Ryan Douglas out of gate 1, and he leads. Lawson giving chase in second. Third position, Ellis Perks. And this would be great stuff here for the Lions, but Richard Lawson now beginning to wind it up in the white helmet colour. So coming to the end of lap number 2 then, Douglas out in front. That's a good corner from the Australian, pulls a few lengths clear on that second lap. So Douglas leads, Lawson in second, third is Ellis Perks, and Alfie Botel at the back for the third time this evening. And if Ryan Douglas can keep the wheels in line here over this final lap, because Lawson again is closing, it's going to move the Lions 16 points clear after heat number 9. And again, Douglas has got it wrong on the first corner. And for the second time tonight, Ryan Douglas has made a mistake on the first corner, and that's another point thrown away for the Lions. Richard Lawson takes a checkered flag. Ryan Douglas, after doing all of the hard work, just seems to get the first corner wrong and annoyed with himself as he makes his way back into the pits. But that's the second time tonight, and both times that's happened has been the only race win for the Eagles. The Lions still doing well, they're still 14 in front, but Richard Lawson there benefiting from the error by Ryan Douglas. But there's still 6 races to go for the Lions to pull these final points back after heat number 9. The winner, Richard Lawson, it's 34 to the Lions and 20 to the Eagles.
Third in red team on Alice Perks. 3 to Lions and 3 to the Eagles. He's been put in yellow by Lewis Kerr.
Heat 10 then, ride replacement ride for the Lions is Connor Mountain, gate 2 yellow for the Eagles, Lewis Kerr. Scott Nichols red, gate number 3 for the Lions, and Carl Newman white in gate number 4. 34-20 the score after heat number 9, and after that unfortunate mistake by Ryan Douglas there. Stuart Dixon, I'm sure, will be hoping that Scott Nichols and Connor Mountain could get another heat advantage here. But Lewis Kerr, one of the better riders tonight for the Eagles so far. 5 points from 2 rides for him, but he's up against the unbeaten skipper Scott Nichols. 6 points out of 6 for the 7-time British champion, and he'll be looking to try and make it 3 out of 3 here out of that gate number 3. So sun just about going down over the 4th corner, wind picking up, a bit of dust coming round. Can the Lions see this one off? Heat number 10 takes rise, away they go. That's a good start by Connor Mountain on the inside, and Scott Nichols there gives Carl Newman a little clip. Newman stays on, and the Lions are on a 5-1 position. It's Scott Nichols in front, Connor Mountain second, Lewis Kerr in third. Here comes Carl Newman around the outside in white. Can he get that move to stick? It looks like he just got round Connor Mountain. Good ride from Carl Newman, and Connor Mountain now has to try and see off Lewis Kerr. Scott Nichols looking behind him all the time, see if he can help his partner. Mountain goes wide on the 3rd corner to try and put pressure on Newman. Here comes Connor Mountain with an effort around the outside, and he's repaid the compliment. Great ride, Connor Mountain. Newman moves wide to block him. Mountain cuts back up the inside. The Lions reserve giving it everything into the 3rd corner. Great move from Connor Mountain. Can he make that move hold? He has done. 1 lap to go. Scott Nichols, Connor Mountain on the way to what would be a crucial 5-1. Connor Mountain bringing the house down here. A super ride to get back into 2nd position and see off Carl Newman. Can he get around the final corner? Yes, he can. Grandstand on their feet. What a race, heat number 10. Scott Nichols the win in red, but Connor Mountain in blue, the Lions reserve. What a wonderful 5-1 that was. Carl Newman put him under all sorts of pressure, managed to pass the young reserve, but Mountain kept it wound on around the outside of the 3rd and 4th corner, and once he got past Carl Newman, he pulled away to great effect. The surprise there was that Lewis Kerr couldn't make any impact, but what it does mean is that the Lions now have moved 18 points clear, and they now lead by 39 points to 21 after heat number 10. They've just got to pull back another 7 points over the next 5, and they would have made one of the best comebacks in Speedway history. 39-21 after heat number 10.
Scotty Nichols. Scott win time 62.75. 62. Edward Kennett.
Heat 11 then, 5 to go, and the Lions crowd here again a little bit excited as they move into the final 3rd of this meeting. 39-21 after heat number 10. I don't think many people expected the Lions to get anywhere close to pulling back the 24 points this evening, but they've given themselves a great opportunity. And heat number 11 now certainly will see a battle between Ed Kennett on gate 1 in white and Chris Bomber Harris in red on gate number 2. They're certainly the 2 main protagonists in this race, with Georgie Wood, gate 3 in yellow, the rider reserve replacement ride, replacing Ben Morley, and Joe Lawler taking what will no doubt be his final ride this evening in the blue helmet colour. So Start Marshall asking the riders into line then. Ed Kennett gate 1, Chris Harris gate 2, Georgie Wood 3, and Lawler gate number 4. Takes rise, away they go. Kennett makes a good jump off 1 and leads. Harris second. Lawler though ran the outside into 3rd. Can he make that 6 bomber up the inside of Ed Kennett though? And Chris Harris makes himself wide as Kennett dives back up the inside. Good action from the 2 Brits out front, but it's Harris that leads. But the key news here for the Lions is that Joe Lawler has got into the 3rd position, and the Lions are on a surprise 4-2. It's Harris that leads, Kennett in second, Lawler in third and Georgie Wood at the back. Can Chris Harris keep Eddie Kennett behind? If he rides out wide, he probably would do, because Eddie Kennett doesn't tend to go anywhere near the outside of the track. It's Harris in front, Kennett second. Third place Lawler looking behind as Georgie Wood gets close up the inside and puts the pressure on. Can Lawler make it stick? Close out the back. 1 lap to go then. Harris out wide, just keeping Kennett at bay. Third position still Joe Lawler. His bike smoking as he crosses the line, as Harris and Lawler's in the great corner there to see off Georgie Wood. Will Chris Harris keep the lead out front? Kennett's giving him some stick on the outside, goes back up the inside. Harris just wins and Joe Lawler's just missed out for that third position. I think Georgie Wood has managed to do him right on the line. A great effort from the young lad in the blue helmet colour. 2 races in 1 there as Edward Kennett that gave Chris Harris no rest at all, but Bomber rode a great line out wide. It was close on the line, but it looks like Bomber has held on. But Joe Lawler gave everything there, but fair play to George Wood, who never gave up and a shared heat. Only the 4th of the evening for the Eagles, but with 18 points still in front for the Leicester Lions. 4 races to go to get this advantage back, and the official adjudication for heat 11 just about to come through. It should be a 3-all.
Memory of Wendy Webster. 2 races in 1 there. A very, very close finish for first and second, and also for third and fourth. The official verdict is a win for the rider in white.
And the referee has given Kennett the victory there.
61.91.
And that has surprised a lot of people, because Ed Kennett has been announced as the winner and Edward Kennett didn't even go round on a lap of honour.
Yellow.
So the referee has actually given the Eagles a 4-2 there, which is quite a surprise to most people in the stadium. And referee Stuart Dixon, Chris Harris has gone to speak to the referee on the phone from the pits, because the referee there has given a result that nobody in the stadium saw. So at the moment then, a 2-4 the score in heat number 11 means it's now 41 to the Lions, 25 to the Eagles, and it's now 16 points the difference between the Lions and the Eagles. Heat number 12 then on the inside for the Eagles. Surprisingly, Alfie Botal taking another ride. Georgie Wood has been good value. You'd have thought they'd have made a change there, but they go with Botal in yellow. Gate 2 in red for the Lions, Ellis Perks. Gate 3 in white, Carl Newman. And Connor Mountain out for ride number 6 of the evening in the blue helmet colour. So after that surprise verdict by the referee in Heat 12, it's 41-25, 16 points in front of the Lions. Now 8 points down on aggregate with 4 to go. But if they can see off Carl Newman here, there's a chance they could at least get a 4-2, maybe even a 5-1 if Perks and Mountain can repeat their efforts of heat number 8. But Carl Newman was a bit better last time out, and I'm sure if Carl hits the front, he'll be hard to stop. So Botal, Perks, Newman and Mountain, 4 big races left. Tensions building here. Tapes rise where they go. Newman lifts coming out the tapes, but Botal's made a better start. But now it's all tight in the corner as Mountain goes around the outside, Perks up the inside, and the Lions pair have gone either side here. Newman's dived up a gap that's not really there. It's Botal moving through into second, Mountain cutting back up the inside, and the Lions are on a 5-1. Ellis Perks leads, Connor Mountain second. Here comes Carl Newman into the mix in white though. He's moved through now. Botal cutting back up the inside of Mountain, and Connor Mountain now has been shuffled to the back, but he tries around the outside again, but Botal's ridden well there to get back into third. It's Perks at lead. Second place is Carl Newman. Botal in third, Connor Mountain. 6 rides, probably just taking its toll. He's got 1 1/4 laps to get around the out, and he's gone down at the back. He slid off, he's okay though, but 1 lap to go for Ellis Perks, and the Eagles are going to get a 3-3 here. When at one point it looked like the Lions were going to get a 5-1, so again more points thrown away here by the Lions, but Perks is going to win his second race of the evening. He wins second place in white for Carl Newman. A better ride there for Alfie Botal in third for the Eagles. and Connor Mountain picking himself up after another great effort. But another race goes by, 8 points in front now with just 3 to go. Ellis Perks moves on to paid 11 from his 5 starts this evening. Great effort for Ellis Perks, and he's giving the grandstand a wheelie to celebrate. Good ride from him. Connor Mountain, though, again in plenty of action for the places there, but just slid off at the back. But we've got heats 13 and 15 to come, and the old Coventry Bees pairing from Nichols and Harris will be looking to do some stuff for the Lions this evening in heats 13 and 15.
12 races to Watley JCB Leicester Lions 44, Eastbourne Eagles 37.
Heat 13 then. Chris Harris, Scott Nichols for the Lions, Edward Kennett and Richard Lawson for the Eagles. And this promises to be a bit of a cracker, and potentially again these 4 riders will be out again in Heat 15. And you wouldn't be surprised if these 4 in years gone by would have lined up for a British final, with Nichols and Harris winning plenty of titles between them, and Eddie Kennett and Richard Lawson always being in and around the top 5 or 6 in the last few years. So the inside in red currently unbeaten, 9 points Scott Nichols, gate 1. Gate 2 Edward Kennett for the Eagles, the winner of that heat 11, which will no doubt be discussed as the meeting goes on. Gate 3 in blue Chris Harris should be on a maximum but isn't, and I'm sure that will be discussed. And on the outside in yellow Richard Lawson for the Eagles. Heat 13 then, 44-28. Need a 5-1 really, Lions. Takes rise away they go. Good start by Nichols on the inside. Kennett's gone wide, and Kennett's going for the dirt. Will he get round? Nichols is sat tight, and he's blocked his partner, and Ed Kennett has gone round. And now Harris moves to into third, but Scott Nichols there rode too tight and blocked off Chris Harris. So Nichols cutting back up the inside of Kennett. It's Kennett that leads, Nichols second, Chris Harris in third, and Ed Kennett, when he's in front, he's a bit of a bad boy to pass. He rides a good blocking line, and Nichols are going to have to do something special to get round him. Outside, inside, do the big cutback. 2 laps gone. Ed Kennett leads. Nichols in second in red, Harris in third. And it's all about whether Scott Nichols can get past Edward Kennett. Kennett's riding a super line at the minute, but Nichols needs to somehow get a big cutback up the inside. He's going to try it this time. Coming into start lap number 4, but Kennett again has got it covered. 1 lap to go then. Ed Kennett riding his super line. Scott Nichols chasing the back wheel, but Edward Kennett has potentially put Eastbourne 1 leg into the semi-final. Good ride by Kennett. Nichols tries one more time, and he's got him. Nichols gets him on the inside in red. A big cutback off gate number 4, and we'll wait for the referee there because he may still award that to Edward Kennett. But Scott Nichols has cut back off turn number 4, and we'll wait the official verdict then, because there was at least a bike length in that one. That might not be close enough for the referee. But Scott Nichols, looks like Eddie Kennett had some kind of engine trouble coming over the line. But it's a 4-2 for the Lions, and the dream is still alive. 48-30, 18 points in front with 2 races to go. And the Lions still have a chance of getting through to semi-final.
And third in blue, Chris Harris.
Heat 14 then, 2 races to go for the Lions to somehow claw back at least another 6 points to force a draw on aggregate, or 8 points to qualify for the semi-final of the Knockout Cup. Gate 1 in white, Lewis Kerr, 5 points from his 3 starts. Gate 2 in blue for the Lions, Connor Mountain, 9 paid 11 from his 6 rides so far. Alfie Botel is a reserve replacement in yellow for the Eagles, replacing Georgie Wood, surprisingly, in gate 3. And Ryan Douglas in red on the outside. 8 points for the Australian tonight. How crucial are those 2 races earlier on when he threw points away going to be for the Lions? We will see very shortly. Heat 14 then. The Lions need at least a heat advantage here. Takes rise away they go. Kerr's made a good one off gate 1. Botel's made a good one off 3. And now Ryan Douglas is going to have to dive up the inside of both of them. And he has done. Ryan Douglas and Connor Mountain have gone from last to first and second respectively. Kerr's made an error there and has got tangled up with the bike. Louis Kerr, though, good to see him up on his feet. But the referee has stopped the race there. There's going to be a rerun. The main thing there, though, Louis Kerr getting back up from what had a potential to be an awful looking crash there But the white exclusion light on, and the Lions are going to have another go at heat 14. Main concern though with Louis Kerr at the moment, because going into that third corner, both Ryan Douglas and Connor Mountain have done a superb cutback, and the Lions can sniff blood here in heat 14 as they've got to deal with Alfie Botal in the rerun, and we'll hope that the paramedics will sort out Louis Kerr on the inside. But there is a rerun heat 14 with 3 riders only.
Will be disqualified for the rerun of heat number 14. Hopefully Lewis will be okay.
Heat 14 rerun then, and there's less than 1 minute 30 seconds now left just for Alfie Botal, who's got an issue with his bike. And this would be an amazing turnaround here, because if the Lions were to get a 5-0, he's being pushed away from the pits now, but he's only got 15 seconds or so to get round, and it looks like he's going to make it. And you've now got to hope that Connor Mountain and Ryan Douglas can do the business again, because they'd managed to sort Botal and Louis Kerr out in that first running of heat 14. And if the Lions could get a 5-1, it would leave a grandstand finish where a 4-2 required would make it all square at 90 points apiece, and a 5-1 would see the Lions somehow come from nowhere to qualify. Heat 14 then, Mountain, Botal and Douglas. Tapes rise, away they go, and it's a good start by Mountain, and Botal has just got past him, but it's Douglas who leads. Mountain up the inside now into second. Botal though winding it on, and Connor Mountain has just got through the inside. Here comes Alfie Botal around the outside. It's Douglas who leads, Mountain on the inside in second. They need to look around, but they've got it sorted at the moment. Can Connor Mountain hold on here for another 3 laps in front of Alfie Botal? Because if they do, the Lions, it's in their own hands for heat number 15. Botal dives up the inside of Mountain. Mountain tries to shut the gap, which he does. 2 laps gone then. Ryan Douglas in front. Connor Mountain second. Third position, Alfie Botal. And people here are beginning to think that they've got one shot in heat 15 now to turn this magnificent 24-point deficit around. 1 lap to go for Ryan Douglas and Connor Mountain, and Alfie Botal there very nearly came down. And the good news for the Lions fans is that Ryan Douglas has sorted that first turn, and with half a lap to go, the Leicester Lions are going to move into a 22-point lead, and Douglas and Connor Mountain have set this up perfectly for a heat 15 shootout, the third 5-1 of the evening for the Lions. It moves the scores on to 53 points to the Lions, 31 to the Eagles. And Connor Mountain's all 3 5-1s this evening for the Lions have involved Connor Mountain, and Ryan Douglas has moved on to 11 points as well. And with 1 race to go, the Lions need a 5-1 to qualify for the Knockout Cup semi-final, whereas the Eagles need a 2 points for a draw, a 3-3 to go back down to Sussex with a place in the semis. All to play for, heat 15. Heat number 15 then, the quarter-final of the Knockout Cup, and we have various scenarios here. Across the line, gate 1 in red, currently unbeaten, line skipper Scott Nichols. Gate 2 in white for the Eagles is Richard Lawson. Gate 3 in blue is Ryan Douglas for the Lions, and on the outside in yellow for the Eagles is Edward Kennett. So the permutations, if Eastbourne get a 3-3 or better, they will qualify for the semi-finals. If the Lions get a 4-2, we go to golden heats. If the Lions get a 5-1, they will have turned round a 24-point deficit and will qualify for the Knockout Cup semi-final. I'm sure this will run and run, because if the Eagles do win it by getting a 3-3, then the information, I'm sure, the overload of information regarding Heat 11 and the incorrect awarding of that result for Edward Kennett over Chris Harris. So even if the Eagles get a 3-3, I'm sure there may well be some repercussions further down the line. So the crowd on tenterhooks, the Lions fans didn't expect this when they turned up this evening, but they are about 63 seconds away from potentially getting a wonderful result, or 63 seconds away from having heartbreak at the last minute. Nichols 1, Lawson 2, Douglas 3, Kennet 4. Start marshal calls him into line. Here we go. Takes rise, away they go. Good start by Nichols on 1, and Douglas has made it in front of Kennet. Can the Eagles make any inroads here? Kennet's coming through the middle though. What a ride by Edward Kennet there to split the lines at first of all, and then go in between them to lead. Kennet leads. Here comes Nichols up the inside though. Scott Nichols back into the lead. He looks over his shoulder. Douglas is in third, which means we go to golden heats if it stays like this. It's Nichols in front. Edward Kennet though chasing hard in second place. Ryan Douglas in third. Nichols needs to get his head down and go. It's Nichols that leads. Kennet though has come back up the inside and has caught Nichols unaware. Nichols now needs to cut back up the inside. He was taking too long. Looking behind as Richard Lawson dives inside of Douglas as well. It's all gone wrong for the Lions here. It's Kennet that leads. Nichols in second. Lawson in third, and the Eagles are going to snatch it here. They've gone from potentially a 5-1 into a 4-2 position, and Edward Kennet's going to be the hero for the Eagles. Nichols tries one more time to get his full maximum. He's going to go round Edward Kennet to win heat 15. He doesn't. Kennet holds on, and the few Eagles fans in the crowd, it's silent here now as Edward Kennet has a super first corner to go from last to first in the space of about 100 yards. He went round the outside of Nichols, inside Ryan Douglas, and for the Lions to get so close, it's heartbreak for them. They've done fantastically well to win by 20 points on the evening, 55 points to 35, and Edward Kennet delighted with those heroics in heat 15, and he's probably going to get the bumps from the Eagles contingent at the gate. Super race between Kennet and Nichols. Lawson, fair play to him as well for coming inside on the third lap to go inside Ryan Douglas. But it's the Eagles that qualified for the Knockout Cup semi-finals. On aggregate, they've gone through by 92 points to 88. But fair play to the Watling JCB Lions for a fantastic performance and pushing the Eagles all the way to the end of this super meeting.
Final score this evening then, the Watling JCB Lions 55, Eastbourne Eagles 35.
Well, who would have saw that one coming? An absolute epic end to a thrilling Knockout Cup Classic, and it will be one that will be remembered for years to come, I am sure. Like I say, what a way to round it off as well. Going down to a last heat decider and a perfect heat of speedway for you to enjoy in that final heat number 15 as well. So full credit to both teams for the action they provided over those 30 races, both at Arlington and the Paul Chapman and Sons Arena. Next Monday, we continue our Monday Night Speedway broadcast, and we are heading back to 2017 and to Glasgow's Ashfield Stadium for the Championship Riders Individual. So the stars of the second tier doing battle to see who would come out on top. And again, it is a brilliant contest, a brilliant meeting with some star names as well. So do join us next Monday, June the 1st at 7:30 on our Facebook and YouTube channels. You can join me at this coming Friday from 8:30, once again on Facebook and YouTube, for British Speedway Quiz Night number 7. In the meantime, stay safe, look after yourselves, and we'll catch you back later in the week.